When it comes to abundance, there's actually a disadvantage to having lots of money. I know, head tilt right there. But here's what I mean. And this is coming from a real life conversation I had with a woman just this past week. This woman is financially in great shape. She has a good income. She has money in savings and investments. As she said, I'm good with money. She even goes so far as to say, I love money. And yet, this woman didn't realize the scarcity patterns that were running her life. Because having that money, having that good income, having money in the bank kind of shielded her from it. Now, I'm all for having lots of money. I'm all for having money in the bank and a great income, but I'm even more all for exposing the scarcity patterns that prevent you from fully being who you were created to be and sharing your gifts with the world that get in the way of you enjoying your life. Because that's what was happening for this woman. For one, ooh, she did not like to spend money. She did not like to spend money out of fear that one day she wouldn't have enough. She had a hard time spending money, especially on herself, unless it was justifiable in some way. She really needed it. It was going to serve some type of productive purpose. But when it came to just doing something for herself that she just enjoyed, that had no apparent purpose or produced any result or couldn't be justified, woo, she loved money and yet she held on to it tight. Same thing when it came to like sharing what she had with others. Woo, she was holding on tight again because, again, even though she had lots of money and a great income, what she didn't see was driving her was this deep-seated fear of not having that money. And to a certain degree, that's healthy. But to another certain degree, that's unnecessary scarcity, my friend. And when we had this conversation, we dove a little deeper, we started to see that this scarcity wasn't just around money. It was how she saw herself. She, in her own words, said, wow, I'm really hard on myself. That running through her mind all the time are words like, you didn't do that good enough, or you haven't done enough, or you should have been able to do that better, or what's your problem that you're not doing this? See, her scarcity wasn't so much around money, it was with her sense of herself. Deep, 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 she didn't know that she could trust herself. She didn't know that who she is perfectly okay. She didn't know that she is inherently worthy, and her worth and her security and her freedom doesn't come from the money, but it comes from her relationship with, her understanding with, her experience of herself. And all that she did with money, making lots of it and saving lots of it and hanging on to it for herself and for others, was just a reaction to that deeper scarcity. Like I said at the beginning, sometimes having lots of money gets in the way of us really experiencing abundance and freedom and well-being. Not abundance of money, but abundance in the knowing that who we are is inherently worthy, the knowing that we're part of something bigger than us and our individual perceptions and our individual efforts. That comes from the knowing that we can trust something bigger than us. Call that God, call that source, call that the creator, call that the sacred archetype of abundance that I talk about in my work. It's like, wow, I can trust in something bigger than me. See, this woman's money kept all of this pushed back, stuffed down. She didn't have to deal with it like women that I know and that I know myself, meaning me, have to do when they don't have that, when they're faced with how am I going to pay my bills, and boy did I rack up a lot of debt, and oh, my income isn't what it needs to be. See, that then money brings that stuff up right here in the mirror, and you have to look at it. You see, abundance isn't the result of how much money we have. It's much more a result of the relationship we have with money and how we use it. Do we use it in ways that honor ourselves? Do we use it in ways that honors this created world we live in? Do we use it in ways that honor others? Do we use it in ways that allow us to more fully and freely be the unique human beings we were created to be? Again, trusting in something bigger than us. Like I said, I'm all for having a good income and money and savings and investments. But what I'm more invested in is that you, my friend, can see and heal and release the inner scarcity patterns you have about yourself and about money. Because there, my friend, comes real well-being, real freedom, real fulfillment, not dependent on money alone. Now, if I'm talking to you and you've kind of been buying into this like, oh, I just need lots of money and that's the solution, let's talk. In fact, better yet, I invite you to check out my Foundations for Abundance program, because that's where you, like this woman, will start to see, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was a scarcity pattern I had or belief I had. You'll start to see the places that scarcity is running you that you may not be seeing, especially if you have lots of money, because then it's really easy to not see them. Or if you really want to dive into this deep like this woman did, then reach out and let's have a discovery session and let's see how I can support you to experience the abundance that's available to you, not dependent upon your bank account, and that actually is your birthright.